Namaste Nam. We have another wonderful episode of Nasta with Nam, and we have this lovely breakfast from a piece of cake. And our guest Ranita from Turtle Box. Thank you, Ranita, for making time for this
Hi
one.
Ankita, thank you so much for having me.
So, Ranita, we will dig in later, but I just want to know about the journey of Turtle Box. Like, how did it come to life? What was the idea behind it?
Sure, all of this is looking too tempting, but I'll hold on till we just chat a little bit more. So, I was actually a consultant for 9 years. I did my master's in economics and I started working with one of the top consulting companies in the analytics team. And then I spent the next 2 years there, 7 years with another consulting startup. So 9 years I was doing hardcore consulting, and obviously there's no sense of time, and I was traveling like crazy. I was traveling about 2 to 3 weeks a month.
Wow.
I got married in the meantime, and after 5 years I had my first son when I quit because I couldn't keep up with the travel. And also knowing myself, I knew I couldn't do both really well.
Yeah.
Soon after, within 2 years, I had my second son. But when he was about a year old, I had this feeling of I need to get back to something, right? Because when you've worked for so long, you can't sit idle for too long.
Yeah.
Idle meaning not doing
Like something productive,
Correct.
work-wise, you need your identity as well.
Exactly. I just need to do something that's outside of the house or something that keeps me occupied. In the meantime, I had also started working with a NGO called iSaksham. I was one of the co-founders. That kept me busy. But still, there was this urge of something is missing. It was around Diwali, and I kept thinking that what are we doing this year? I didn't want to do chocolates and cakes or mithais. So at that point, we were getting a lot of dry fruits which were flavored, but they were flavored artificially. So like, your strawberry almonds
Yes.
or kesar badam
Yes.
kaju, which was just sugar and artificial flavor in a machine and then just coated. And you would have just one, and the second one just didn't feel like
Yeah, it
the right
spoils the
thing.
actual dry fruit
Correct.
also, yeah.
So then that's what I thought. I said, dry fruits are so good. And I'm a Bengali, so I haven't grown up with dry fruits,
Yes.
but now I've lived in Delhi for 22 years.
Yes.
And I've seen the culture of dry fruit being a part of your everyday routine of gifting. So I said there has to be something it is still tasty, but it does not kill the goodness of the dry fruits. So that Diwali, we came up with just 2 or 3 flavors. I remember the assorted nuts with honey and poppy seeds was our first flavor. And we gave it out to 30, 40 of our friends and family. And they started calling and asking, this is really good. We've never had something like this. Where did you buy it
So
from?
did you give with your turtle box?
No, we didn't have a name. Actually, we had a name and we just printed the flavor.
Yeah.
Nothing, like no other details. And it had my personal phone number. So it got me thinking that there is a gap in the market, and why not? Let's see if I can go a step ahead. And that's really how Turtlebox started. Kind of serendipitously, it was not like a plan that this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
But I think it just found me.
That's very interesting. And you started with just 3 flavors, and now you have more than 25 plus flavors. So how this scaling this business happened? How did you come up with new flavors?
Sure. So yes, we started with 3 flavors. From the very beginning, there were 3 things that we were very clear of. One is we don't want to go into mass batch production. We'll still keep it small, handmade production, small batches. The second is healthy. No refined sugar, no oil, no additives, no preservatives. We were very clear about that. And the third is the flavors have to be different. Because the market is crowded, there are a lot of flavors that you usually get off the shelf. So we were very clear that it has to be something different. And I think that's where my passion for travel, of having traveled 30 plus countries and the love for food kind of married together. And I think also the blend of running a half Bengali, half Punjabi kitchen, because I'm a Bengali, my husband is a Punjabi. So all that fusion I think came into play. We curated the flavors slowly but steadily, but just always keeping in mind that is it something different? Is this a food combination or a flavor combination that is pairing well? That's how we started. Initially, I would also like to thank some insistent clients who have helped us increase the flavor profile. Initially, when we started, our tagline was sweet something because we thought we'll do only sweet flavors. But there was one client I remember who said that it was her grandson's first birthday. So she was insistent to a savory flavor.
Yes.
So I said, no, we don't do savory. She's like, no, you can do it. Why don't you try? So I love those clients who kind of push us
Push you to do better.
to do different things, to try to get out of our comfort zone. So I think that's how the flavor slowly grew. Now we have a whole section of nuts. We do have a whole section of dehydrated fruits. But we use the local Uttarakhand variety, which is not coated with sugar. And then we have a whole Indian section. So as we grew, there were weddings and they wanted something meetha. So we started doing panjiris, besan barfi, but we've stayed true to our core to not use any refined sugar. So we use
that's
gourd,
the brand
khand.
philosophy goes in every product.
Absolutely.
Comes. Oh, that's really good to know, especially in the world of like so much processed food that is coming in. It's so good to know that you're consciously trying to make that effort in every product that you're selling it across.
I always say this. I think the one good thing of COVID is that people have become health conscious. People have realized that nothing above your health and your well-being. So people are very conscious of what they're putting in their mouth, and we've stayed very true to that.
That's really good. Ranita, I want to know from you that
because I also want to talk about, one is the flavor, but then also the packaging and the gifting aspect of it.
So Ranita, I wanted to ask you that you run a food business, but you always kind of portrayed it as a premium gifting product. Like, is that the thought that was from the beginning, or it organically came across? Because your storytelling, your packaging, everything looks premium, very giftable.
Correct. So yes, I think it was a conscious decision because the gifting market again is a huge space, and we're only looking at a very small part of that pie, and we our Turtle Box wants to be the go-to name for premium gifting, right? So our focus on the packaging is as much as the edibles, right? I always say, when in Diwali, or let's say in a wedding, when there is a table with 10 gifts, your box and your packaging has to stand out for someone to pick it up. Yes. But once they've picked it up and opened it, the inside has to be better,
so that they can really
correct. They can really like it and they come back to you. And we always feel that for us, whether it's one box or 100 box, each box is very important, because the potential that one box have to bring business to your brand is immense, right? So yes, premium gifting is something that we've kind of moved consciously towards, and we've gone to a level where now we can partner with, let's say, a Good Earth, and our boxes are available in their store.
Yes. So I wanted to come to that as well.
So I think we've been able to do decently well there. There's obviously still a long way to go, but and people are okay to pay that extra for the packaging and the premiumness, because it is the whole experience.
Yes.
For us, gifting is an experience.
So do you actually say no to small batches if it's not a gifting order? Is there a minimum quantity that you like say that this is what we are going to do, or like how does it work?
Sure. So no, we don't do that. We have like you mentioned, we have 25 plus flavors. Yes. We have 12 to 15 pre-curated gift boxes.
Okay.
And then we have made to order hampers where you can order and customize and make according to your budget and your requirement. For the pre-curated boxes, there is no MOQ. You can pick up one box as well.
Okay.
There is absolutely no MOQ. What we say no to is a certain budget, because below a certain price point, we cannot cater with the quality of raw materials we use, with the quality of packaging we use. So initially when I started out, I used to feel very guilty saying no. So I would try to bend my back and cater and curate something. But over the years, I've learned that does not help you or the client, because they have a different set of expectations, and you don't want to dilute your brand trying to bend backwards or cutting your margins to absolutely nothing.
And also you need to give certain quality in your each experience. But as you said, it's not just a product.
Exactly.
It's the experience that you're gifting, experience that you're delivering to the client.
Correct. So we are now 6-7 years old, and the first 4 years or 5 years was completely word of mouth. So I have done 3 weddings in a family. I've done weddings, their 2 daughters' weddings, their baby showers, their baby announcements.
Wow.
So if you dilute, that will never happen.
Yeah, and
right?
that's the best thing. The word of mouth
Correct.
publicity. If the client is recommending you to somebody else, I think your product or experience says it all.
Correct. So I think your product speaks for itself. So at no point we cut corners there. Also in terms of packaging, someone, there are people who says, no, don't give us the box, give us just like that. So we said we have soft boxes. So even if you pick up one box for your personal consumption, it comes in a nice soft box,
Yes,
and
I've seen that. It's
all of that
lovely.
is there.
Yeah.
So it is the brand that is speaking out every time with every small, like one nut that you pick up. So you have to maintain that consistency and the ethos of the brand.
Yes, I really wanted to know, a lot of people want to actually, a lot of mom entrepreneurs want to service corporate clients, but they don't know what are the mandates, what are the prerequisites to actually approach. So how did you approach your first corporate client, and how did they, like as a home-based entrepreneur, how did you track the deal?
So a couple of things. Firstly, if you're trying to go the corporate route, make sure your housekeeping is in order. By that I mean your company is registered, you have the bank account, you have the GST, you have the FSSI if you're in a food business, or whatever licenses you need for different industries. So one is when your housekeeping is completely in order, then think of going for the corporate.
Okay. Otherwise it's a waste of time.
Otherwise it's a waste of time. It's a lot of back and forth, because even in corporates it's a huge process, right? So most big organizations have a vendor registration process, right? This year for Diwali, we did 1900 boxes for Make My Trip.
Oh, wow, congratulations.
So, thank you so much. So, and it took us a good amount of time to finalize that. So in corporate, one lesson is patience. It takes a lot of patience. Once you crack it, it's worth the while, but you have to be at it. There are corporates I've converted in the third year or the second year of conversation.
But you were constantly in touch.
I was constantly in touch. Try to find the one point of contact who you can hang on to.
Right contact.
Correct. If it comes through a contact, well and good. Most of the cases I've seen that works, because then you have someone who is actually your brand ambassador within the organization.
Yes.
So I've had cases, I've recently had a case where I had not coordinated with the client at all. Someone from my team was coordinating, and last week I got a message saying that I'm a partner at KPMG. Just congratulate. I saw that Ranita is the founder. Congratulate her on the amazing thing that she's doing. And if she ever wants to do a fundraising, I'll be there. So just pass on the message.
Wow, that's amazing.
So yes, I think finding the right contact, being constantly in touch, hanging on, not being disappointed, because it is not. For bigger orders, it takes a lot of time. Yes. There are a lot of loopholes and processes within the corporate. But if you want to do, also be ready from your back end that you'll be able to process that kind of a
order with the quality.
Quantity, both.
Oh, yeah.
But I would say yes, be at it. Don't give up. Don't be disappointed. It's a long lead time, but it's worth it at the end.
And if you don't have a referral or a contact, like how do you approach? Do you cold call? Do you approach through LinkedIn? Like how does it work?
So we've tried that. We've made the HR database. We call them up. That has worked, but I would say the percentage is low.
Okay.
Best is find your contacts in LinkedIn and from them try to get one contact within the organization who takes care of, let's say, gifting or whichever area you want to do it. Correct. So usually admin or HR will take care of it. So I would suggest the best thing is go on your contact list and ask them for the favor of, can you connect me to the right person. Typically cold calling I have seen does not work.
So you have to either approach through an introduction or
have you introductions are best
through LinkedIn. You've tried to find that. Oh, that's a very, very useful tip, I would say.
So I am an introvert, right? I avoid people, so to say. But when you're doing your own business, you're a mompreneur, that's something that you have to work on, whether you like it or not.
Yes.
So I reached out to all my college friends, my initial set of colleagues, and asked them for contacts. Maybe out of 50 I reached out, 5 or 6 gave me the contact, but those 5 and 6 are good contacts,
Yes.
right? So just be at it and
I
try
think
to
it's a
find the
very,
right.
very valid point, because as mom entrepreneurs, we're so self-conscious, we're introverts.
Absolutely.
We just don't want to reach out to people just with the fear of hearing no.
Absolutely. So when you called me for the podcast, so a lot of time our social media. So now for the last 2 years we have a social media team, etc. So they said, you have to be out there, you have to speak. I was so camera shy. I always refused that. I said no, let my product. So they said no, sometimes you have to speak. So don't be hesitant to do that. If I can do it, anyone else can.
I'm sure you've had such an amazing journey. I want to know what are the learnings from dealing with the corporate, few challenges that you face, and how people can overcome it, like budding entrepreneurs.
I'll not restrict it to corporates. Like for corporates, like I said, high rejection rate, very long turnaround time. So you have to be patient, you have to be at it, and you have to give out samples wherever you can. That's the best thing. Your product speaks for itself.
I wanted to actually ask that question. So people actually hesitate to give out samples because they think it's a cost.
No, absolutely not. But this is something that I will tell you again and again. Please give out samples, because that is the only and the best way that the person can understand what you're talking about. No amount of photography, no amount of emails or WhatsApp can do that. So wherever you can, I have shipped out samples to Bangalore
At your own cost?
at my own cost. Yeah, we don't charge for sampling. Okay. Even for wedding orders, when there's 100 box or more, we send out free samples.
But like samples not always convert into sales, right?
No, they do not. They absolutely do not. But I can tell you, the ones that do will take care of the cost of the ones that don't. Yeah. So please give out samples, and I'll show you my sample box. It's a proper gift box with 10 small flavors. Wow. We had it for sampling, but people started saying that we want to buy it, so we actually gave a price to it, and then we started selling it as a gourmet palette sampler. So again, when you give out the sample, remember it's your brand that is going out, so be true to the ethos of your brand.
Yes, what I've seen is sometimes like the packaging is very good in general when you buy the product, but sample comes in such a clumsy packing that you don't feel like ordering. Like the food is good, but I'm like, oh my god, like this packaging is not nice, but the final product would actually be nice.
Absolutely. So that's why I'm saying whatever little thing that goes out, it is your brand. So coming back to the challenges, or I would say my learnings, first of all, initially when I started out, I would always try to be in my comfort zone, which is true and which is absolutely fine given the stage you are in, both in your business and your life. But sometimes it's okay to push your boundaries a little bit and try to nudge and get out. The second is, when we start out, especially as mompreneurs, we try to do everything ourselves, right? Yes. We want to keep the cost to the minimum. Yes.
We don't want to invest in the startup.
Absolutely. First, we are not sure how long we're going to do it, whether it's going to work or not. We have, unfortunately, a lot of self-doubt. Right? I think that a lot of moms have that. Whether I'll be able to do it. I have never done this before. Can I even take it to the next step? So we try to do everything ourselves and cut the cost.
Yeah,
right?
Did you do that as well?
Absolutely. I did. I did photography, I did social media, I did content writing, everything. And very quickly I realized it's not going to work. You can't do everything because you're not good at everything. So pick the 2-3 things that you're good at, keep it with you, and otherwise outsource, delegate, ask friends for favor, whatever works. One of my friends is a journalist in New York. She was my best friend from school. So she did the first content writing for my website. Wow. So I said, do it for me. So ask for favors, pay, but get the right person to do it. Yes. You can't do everything yourself, and you'll not do justice to your business if you do that.
So do you realize this very early on, that you will have to delegate, build a team, or it was
I wish I had realized it earlier, but anyway, jab jago tabhi savera. So then I'm glad that I did eventually. But that's one learning that I have.
And you've consciously decided not to go to the commercial kitchen, even that you're doing 2,000 plus orders. Yes. So how do you manage that?
So we have a production unit and we have another storage and packaging unit. So we've been able to manage between the two units. Production streamlining, production planning plays a very, very important role. I think my work in the consulting realm for 9 years
Really
has
helped.
helped in that.
So do
And
you
my-
have processes set for everything
Absolutely.
from making the product to packaging guidelines?
Even before making the product, from the raw materials coming in.
Okay,
So
okay.
we have a production process in place for every bit of it. The quality checks are very important, given we are very, very quality conscious and we can't go wrong there at all. If like 1% of the client is not happy with something, we do free replacements, no questions asked.
Wow, wow.
So things like that have made a difference, and you have to follow those to the T, and you
And
can't
you've
cut
trained your
corners.
staff.
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
So that's a very, very big learning, I would say, because as mompreneurs, we don't invest enough in the staff, in the processes. It is very important. And we've seen the Turtle Box journey. You are doing such amazing work. So there's a lot to learn.
Just one thing I want to add is when you start a business, especially as a mompreneur, it's like your baby, right? So you don't trust others with it very often than not, and you feel that no one can do it like you. You can do it the best. I felt that as well. We started from our kitchen with me and my mother-in-law, making and packaging and dispatching and all of that.
But you can't really scale with that.
You
right?
cannot scale with that, and you have to then at one point keep it separate, just from the professionalism, hygiene and everything. So that's when we moved to a different kitchen. But what I'm saying is, you feel that no one can do it as good as you, but trust me, if you train properly, if you have the right processes in place, they can be done. So that art of learning to let go or seeing your baby walk is very important. So that is another learning that I would say is
Thank
has
you for
helped.
sharing that. Last but not least, I wanted to ask you if you want to give one piece of advice to the mom entrepreneurs who are going to start their gifting business, what it would be.
I think first of all, let go of the self-doubt. The fact that you've thought of it and you want to do it, or you've just started, deserves the clap, right? Because there are so many people with brilliant ideas, but they are just that, ideas. The fact that you've taken the first step is...
It takes a lot of courage.
It takes a lot of courage. A lot of people are constantly thinking but never getting to it. So if you've taken that first step, then congratulations already. If you haven't, then it is just the first step that you need to take. Everything else will fall in place. Trust me, I've done this for 7 years now. You will find your tribe, you'll find support at home or whatever it takes. But I think the advice is, don't give up. It's not an easy or a very quick journey. Don't think of it as a sprint. It's a marathon. So you have to slowly keep training and keeping at it. Sprint is easier,
Yes.
but if you want to grow a business, then think of it as a marathon.
Yes. Yeah. That's a very good piece of advice, I would say, Ranita. Thank you so much for joining us. These lovely brownies are from Piece of Cake. Do you want to try it?
Absolutely. It's really nice.
Yeah, you love it?
Yeah.
So it's also a mompreneur who's based out of Gurgaon. So send this early morning.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much. Piece of cake is really a piece of cake. It's amazing.
Thank you so much, Ranita, for coming. This is a gift from
Thank
Gourmet
you so much.
all organic
Oh, wow.
skincare. I hope you like it.
Great. I actually have a skin allergy, so I'm really looking forward to using the rose water and all of that. This is also from Mompreneur, right?
Yes, an AM member.
Thank you so much, Roop. Lovely. Can't wait to use these. By the way, I love your earrings.
Oh, this is from a NAM member, the Blink Closet.
Oh,
and my
lovely.
shirt is also from a NAM member. I love Millie.
Wow. So I think between NAM, we have everything covered,
sorted,
right?
within the members. Like my entire wardrobe, kitchen is from NAM.
Lovely, lovely. It's amazing to see how this community has grown from being like, I think 5-6 members when we started out.
Yes.
Amazing.
Thank you so much for being part of it.
Thank you so much. It's been an amazing journey with NAM for so many years.
Thank you.